This is how the chefs cooked this song up.
Let's talk about sort of why we made this song.
Okay, well, when I walked into the session, you were like, Kiana, we're not making another sad song. Because Gravity was really sad and it was really slow. So we really wanted to do like if Gravity had like an older sibling, like a cooler older sibling. And I think this is exactly what Shooter's Shoot ended up being.
So we started with a sample here from my good friend Ron. So shout out to Ron.
You were not my type, I put up a fight, but I couldn't anymore. You were not my type, I would rather lie. I don't wanna be alone. It's never over until I say it's done, but we're never sober.
Which is cool because most of the song came from that second half of that sample. Wait, first of all, we spent an hour making this somehow. I do remember distinctly being like, let's not overthink it. You're like, but the lyrics are, and I'm like, it's not that serious.
Because you can't even hear the lyrics anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Let's get into the actual production of the song. It all starts here with this sample chop.
So fire.
Thanks, man. So there's that section. I think right off the bat, we pitched it up 5 semitones. For the hook, I think there's a different chop. What I like about it, and you can speak this too, but it's sort of like is the glue of the track. It gets the rhythm moving without needing too much drums, too much anything realistically.
I think that's where like the personality lays in this song, in this sample.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think from there we went on to the drums next. It's a lot of space. That's the one thing that I think I noticed now listening back to it.
I think we wanted that intentionally because we knew the song was gonna be hella wordy. Yeah.
And I think because when it comes together with the sample chop, we wanted to keep some of these spaces. Let me zoom in here. There's like these empty spaces where I very specifically remember being like, well, I don't want to have anything there. I like the silence. And that allows sort of the vocals to sit on top without having to do too much magic in the mixing. One thing that I like about, I think, the 808 is that it also bows down to the space. Everything in the song, in a way, bows down to the space. Even in, I think, some places our vocals do that as well, which is really cool. So from there, we went to the hook section here. Like, sorry.
That could be sick for like outro. I won't lie. Like if you want to go crazy like that.
What if that's the other section? Like we do a duet over this, kind of gives it that Jersey bounce, and then I think I added this little percussion situation here. Kind of gives it that bounce, and then over here, once the vocals move towards the next section, there's just some like slam sounds and stuff like that. So. gun cocking.
Love the little Glock sound effects.
Oh my god, it's my favorite. I don't think you were here for this, but I this section really gave me some headaches in terms of making the production interesting without having too much. One thing that really helped me was to add this arpeggiator here. It's really subtle. It comes in and it just goes out. And I mean, it sounds goofy as hell by itself, but
it's doing something.
it's definitely doing something. Because this bass comes in here too. It's a very big bass. I think what it was for me is that this section, the vocals kind of really, we wanted it to feel like riding through Malibu, that carefree feeling of like
Nostalgic summertime, like 8 p.m. sun is setting type of feeling.
Exactly. And that synth sort of gives it that 80s glamour, LA chic. Now let's get, I guess, to the vocals. It's something we got to talk about right away. I think that this was actually from a take. It's you going...
Can you turn the beat down a little?
Oh yeah.
Just a small bit.
So this is the thing with me, guys. I have very, very sensitive hearing, okay? And anyone who's ever worked with me in a session knows that I will tell you to turn it up, then I'll tell you to turn it down, then I'll tell you to turn it back up, and then I'll tell you to split it right in the middle. And I'm very, very picky when it comes to sound. So this is like a trademark KIANA comment. And I told him to speak it out. I was like, I don't want people knowing, I'm... But he's like, no. This is very you. Keep it in. So.
It's one of my favorite things in the whole song, because in every song ever, you hear people be like, yeah, turn that shit up. Turn that shit up. And you're just like...
Can you turn the beat down a
Can you
little?
turn the beat down a little? Just a small bit.
Just a small bit, too. Like, from there, we just sort of go into my verse. This was a really challenging verse for me. I'm not even going to lie. I think...
Yeah, this took us, we had to, we split apart to finish our verses, finish writing our verses, and then we came back to it just because it's
it took a long time. There's a lot of words.
Yeah, we wanted it to be very wordy because both of our verses, Afta's definitely rapping, but I'm singing rapping, which is also very different for me. So we wanted it to feel good, make sense, and for it to fit the storyline. So we started writing it, and then we split apart, worked on our verses, and then came back, and then kind of just meshed everything together.
For sure. I think one thing I like about working with singers specifically is that singers think a lot about tone when they're recording. So do rappers in their own way, but singers think about tone a lot. And you're a very talented vocalist, so you have a lot of different tones to work with, in the tool belt. And I also have a lot of different tones to work with, so yeah. I feel like while tracking...
It was like painting a canvas, just pulling out different tools and colors and...
Exactly. Just being try it softer, try it more rough, try it more staccato. And so every flow here is just so meticulous, you know what I mean?
And everything is so different. I feel like each section has its own personality.
Yes, exactly. I think that was the point too, is just keep it interesting.
Exactly, yeah. We literally said we want every line to be like a punchline in terms of feeling, melody, lyrics, and honestly, not to toot our own horns, but I think we accomplished that.
I really enjoyed writing this song.
Yeah, me too.
I think
it's such a feel-good song.
Let's get into these background vocals, because they are...
Oh my god, we OD'd on background vocals.
Can we just take a moment to just...
They don't even know how many background vocals we remove.
I got someone reaching out to me who, I won't put them on blast, but they're like, yo, this song wasn't mixed well. You didn't take out all the, breaths and stuff. And I was like, that's the point.
This song?
Yeah, and I was like, that's the point. I want that. I want all the breaths. I want the, it's supposed to feel like you're in the room. What did I say to you? I said, when you get thrown in the middle of a dance circle and 30
exactly.
people are hyping you up. So that was the feel, and you can't remove the rawness.
I wanted to give it that crowd feeling, a house party crowd feeling. It feels intimate. You feel like you're in the room,
Exactly.
And that's exactly what we did with the layering.
Yeah, 100%. Okay. So I'm gonna play the layers. I think, if I'm not mistaken, they're more or less dry. There isn't really much going on. There's a little bit of light compression, removed some low end, a little bit of high end, and that's literally it. So let's take a listen by themselves because it's really fun.
Crazy.
Makes you smile.
There's a vocal of you like grunting in the background. And then the the
Oh yeah.
Such a sweet element. Like that reminds me so much of like 2008 Lady Gaga, like that era of like her pop music.
100%. And when you play them together, it's really special. Let's take a listen. And then I remember I was like, I don't want to do too many background vocals in this section because a lot of the Jersey Club songs that you hear, they'll sample like a woman's voice specifically, especially for these sections, the and the ooh and the ad libs and stuff.
Yeah.
And so I think it came out really good, but I remember it being very unnatural. I had to like be like,
It was so unnatural for me.
yeah.
It was like he would like you would like turn on your like mic thing to like talk back to me, and you're like, you need more energy, you need to start screaming, you need to yell. And I was like, I don't want to yell because I come from like an R&B background, you know.
Yeah.
Like I'm so used to just like singing in like my head voice and like very gently, and like this was like I was like screaming, I was literally yelling, and I've never really like screamed or yelled into a mic.
There's
That was very, very new for me.
100%. I mean, when you listen to like this specifically, like you're literally yelling in that little booth there.
And I like when you were like, when I was recording it, he was like, be a different girl in the club with each take. Like one is like that girl that's like cock blocking. One is the girl that's like the hype girl that, you know, is like trying to hype up her girls. One girl is like the shy one, or like one's like the baddie that's like holding a drink in her hand and like fixing her lipstick. And like,
I did say that.
Every take had like a little different personality, right? And it really does feel like a whole friend group, and you feel the layers of personality with each different
100%. Yeah, so I mean, these background vocals, along with that little vocal idea, it provides so much of the bounce that by the time you add the kick and the sample, like, you're already fucking jumping off the wall, right? So I remember having so much difficulty getting the main vocal here because
For which one?
for the hook. So this part specifically was one of the hardest parts to record. But this vocal performance was hard, I think, because I had to like, I couldn't use my deeper voice, which was weird. It's really like, you can't really tell in the song, but I guess if you play it by itself, you can tell that it's a really weird tone.
Hey, okay, for the last time, go to me. For the last time, go to me. For the last time,
It's like, hey, okay. Like, it's
Like
really
it.
in the nose, you know what I mean? It's really fire.
Oh, it's full of character.
Yeah, I think the reference point I had for this duet part was Luther, SZA and Kendrick, where I was like, I love the duet vibes. It kind of they're singing in unison, which is, you know, doesn't happen too often anymore. I feel like there's a lot of like, I'll sing the main part and you'll sing the third or the fifth, and yeah, that sounds nice for sure, but something about two people singing the same lead line is really pretty. And I don't even think we have a single layer.
It's actually crazy because even in that like that second half of the hook, when I come in, we almost sound like one person. Like it's so in sync and in unison. It just sounds like one artist with doubles.
Better than feeling like money. Riding through Malibu, I'm thinking of having you. Temptations are bulletproof and shoot is shoot. Riding through Malibu, I'm thinking of having you. Temptations are bulletproof and shoot is shoot.
Tight, just as tight as it fucking can get. I think the only thing I did is I panned myself a little bit left and I panned you a little bit right, and then I switched them halfway through the phrase.
But they just complement each other. The vocals are so smooth, and we like both were in our bags with like the right range, the right key, the right feeling, that it literally sounds like doubles.
Yeah, and it split the difference between our vocal ranges perfectly, where
exactly, yeah.
We both kind of sound nice there. And one thing I noticed, I don't know if you remember this, we at some point had, I think, vocal doubles and triples and harmonies and shit. And then I think eventually we were just like, no, let the two main vocals come in as strong and as like central as possible. And I think this section is really strong. It came out really fun, so we'll just listen to it one time all together.
Temptations are bulletproof and shoot the street. Riding through Malibu, I'm thinking of having you. Temptations are bulletproof and shoot the shoot.
We get into your verse here, and I fucking love the way your verse starts.
Am I your baby? One thing about me, I will ask a man if I am his. You know, I am a words of affirmation. Tell me, would you still love me if I was a worm type of girl? Like, that is me. So the fact that I started my verse like this is very on brand.
Let's listen to this stack. It's really fucking pretty.
Am I your baby? You got this look.
Fucking powerful as hell. I love the crowd vocals. Let's listen to just those one time as well.
Am I your baby?
And one thing you notice is it's not perfect, and it's not supposed to be.
It's intentional, yeah, to not be perfect.
I think people get caught up in like making these perfect stacks. It doesn't sound real.
It's meant to be like if a bunch of drunk girls were screaming from the top of their lungs, singing their favorite song, like what would it sound like?
And like, look, there's 20 girls, 4 of them can sing, but one of those 4 is a little drunk. So like 3 of them might be good, but 17 of them is just vibes. And that's what it's supposed to be.
Sometimes, yeah, exactly. Some of their pitches, kind of questionable. Other ones, oh, okay, they know what they're doing, you know?
And that's what gives it all the character, right? So, yeah, we have one called Cunty Adlibs. So
all of my ad-libs were hella cunty.
Yeah, 100%. So this is the laugh.
Literally started with a little laugh. That's like the most fire laugh, though. Come on. There were so
do you think
many.
He was staring at me? Oh, do you think he was staring at me?
I'm talking a lot of shit in those cunty ad-libs. Staring at me?
Fucking hell. And
so fire.
Thank you. I think what we did was there's a formant shift on these. So some of them formant shift up, some of them formant shift down. Even this last one here, it seems like we cut it just to formant shift.
I remember I sang it like that, and then you're like, wait, hold up. Let's chop it up. And then we gave it more of that like chopped up, like electric kind of feeling.
Yeah, because here it's you let's see.
Honestly, I played it in the car, like the first that like mix you sent me after that like second section. I played it in the car and I was like, okay, I'm a little overstimulated. It's great. A little overstimulated, but I was like, you know what? Let him cook. And then you sent me that text and I was like, yep, we're on the same page.
Yeah, so that's why there's tons of stuff here that's like
and who did you quote?
Rick Rubin, maybe?
I think you quoted, you said, as Rick Rubin says, we've produced it, it's time to reduce it. And I was like, and then I replied saying, Amu Rubin. That's all I said. No, wait, that's all I said, and you just replied with a thumbs up. Like, you just thumbs it up. So
we were on the same page.
I didn't even, like, give you a green light. I was just like, Amu Rubin. And then you followed up with the new mix.
That's really funny. That's it. It was a really fun project.
I love this song so much.
Yeah. It's really a good time, genuinely. All right. That was our little deconstructing of Shooter's Shoot.
Construct of the deconstruct.
We've produced it. It's time to reduce it. We really ate. Anyways, thanks for watching. Go listen to the song.
Thank you,
And
guys.
oh, I'm gonna drop the files for people who want to remix the song.